Greetings to everyone. Myself Snitha Sam. The thesis topic I have undertaken is Orthodox International Center in the city of Kochi, Kalamassery. The Orthodox International Center is being built by the OIC Foundation, a registered charitable society whose patron is His Holiness Catholicos of Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church and is headed by the Metropolitan of Diocese of Kochi. The Orthodox Center is being established primarily for the benefit of all members of the Orthodox Syrian Church spread all over the world. The vision is to provide a forum to promote spiritual, social, educational, and cultural activities with special emphasis on community living for the aged and counseling for the youth on marriage or family related issues. It will be a unique center for spiritual rejuvenation, solace, and transformation. The complex constitutes church and administration, auditorium, chapel, canteen, convent, retiring rooms, residential units, prayer gardens, gathering spaces, plantation area, poultry, etc. The project is proposed by the Orthodox International Foundation, which will be headed by the Kochi Diocesan Metropolitan, His Grace Dr. Jacob Marairinus. The site proposed is in Kalamassery, a lush green land of 6.4 acres with less densely populated and where one can easily get access to the site through any public transit. There are nearly 16 Orthodox churches within the radius of 30 kilometers from the site. While designing the complex, there are certain aspects to be looked into, mainly the spiritual practices, traditions, and beliefs of the Orthodox community and the built components within the Orthodox churches. Also, the different user groups are also to be considered. It also helps to understand the sacred and secular space connectivity and its coexistence of those spaces within the complex. I have studied multiple case studies dealing with the sacred and secular build and also split units within the complex that is required in the project. I've looked into the site, build form, location, area, access, parking, circulation, climatic stability, units, functional efficiency. Also, I have looked into the Orthodox churches from 6th to 18th century. From these case studies and analysis, I have inferred points which are also implemented in my designs, few of which are as follows. The sacred build or the church should be at the center but also should be an independent build to allow circumambulation for few rituals and traditional practices followed by the church. The church is a social institution in itself, with associated subsidiary builds forming a part of the church architecture. To the site. The site is of 6.4 acres in a serene location in Kalamassery, Kochi. It is 600 meters away from the NH47 and has a bus stop within the radius of 200 meters. The nearest metro is within 1.4 kilometers away from the site. The main access road to the site is of 5.5 meters. The climatic condition of Kalamassery is tropical. The site is surrounded with lush green lands. Also, the site has a negligible contour varying from 1 to 3 meters. The drainage is towards the public drain at the ends of the southwest and northeast part of the site. The site has rich vegetation all at the center of the plot, and also 2.4 acres of the land is wetland. Coming to the zoning. The zoning is done with respect to the literature and live case studies and also considering the site conditions. I had provided out the proximity chart, build zoning, user group zoning, land zoning, etc. The concept used in this project is placemaking pattern of sacred and secular spaces. Coming to the design, the access road of 5.5 meters divides the plot into two, thus providing two sectors. The south plot will be used for parking and hence it helps to restrict the entry of heavy vehicles into the complex. There are two side entries near the main entry to the complex to avoid clustering while peak hours. The main entry leads to the church at the east side and the auditorium at the west side. Then it leads to the admin block and then to the convent and retiring area, and from there to the residence unit and other recreation spaces. Residential unit. The residential unit has a coverage of 358.16 square meters. The residential unit accommodates 10 families. Each residential unit is of 2 BHK with all the luxury of space needed are provided. The build considers the climatic condition and also ensures proper ventilation throughout, and hence balconies are provided. Also, the balconies gives out to enjoy the blissful views of lush green around the plot. The residence unit is placed at the rear side of the plot to ensure enough privacy for the residents. These residents are given in lease for 10 years or for lifetime. There is a private pool area at the backyard of the unit, and also it is near to the prayer garden, and also there is a walkway which is provided at the nearer end. The convent. The convent has a ground coverage of 1782.3 square meters. There are 85 rooms in total excluding the convent, where the priest and the bishops will be retiring. There is G plus 8 floors, wherein the ground floor components in the build are guest rooms, counseling room, library, parsonage, nursing room, amenities, and canteen. The first floor has nursing rooms, staff room and warden area, dining area specifically for them, amenities, and also the views open up to the lush greens around the site. The second floor has the convent. The third and the fourth floor has suite rooms. The sixth and the seventh floor has dorms. It has been provided in such a way that the guests who are residing in does not get disturbed. The rooms are placed in such an order which gives out maximum view and also ensures proper ventilation. Auditorium. The auditorium has an area of 1334.4 square meters. The build can accommodate about 1200 people. The build is placed at the west side from the entrance to avoid clustering within the premises. The multi-purpose auditorium can be used as gallery area or for exhibition. There are wash and toilet separately provided at the ends away from the entrance to avoid clustering within the build. There are parking slots provided at the south side of the plot to ensure the restriction of vehicle towards the inward part of the site. Orientation of church is in the east to west direction, where the madbaha is facing the east side. The independent unit of the church has the capacity to accommodate about 1000 people and has 3 altars, that is, a freestanding main altar with 2 side altars. The main entrance is in the west side and is followed by 2 side entries at the north and the south side. A meditation area for silent prayer to sit and introspect while reading Bible is placed towards the south side of the church. There are parking slots provided at the northeast and southwest sides of the church. The Orthodox Church has a tripartite plan wherein it involves the Haikala, the Questroma, and the main Madbaha. The Haikala is the part where the commoners stand. It is the place where they stand in for service, whereas the Questroma is an elevated platform which separates the Haikala and the main Madbaha. The main Madbaha is the most elevated platform which represents heaven. The special topic undertaken is to understand the spatial organization of churches, the movement pattern of rituals, and the effect of these in spatial organization of the church. The entrance or the Pumukham to the church is a transition space from the secular world to the spiritual world. As the Orthodox have a tripartite plan wherein the build consists of Haikala, the questroma, and the main madbaha. Haikala is where the commoners stand and take part in the service, and it is parted with an aisle for the departed soul. Questroma. Questroma is an elevated platform separating the commoners from the divinity. Then comes the madbaha, which is the most elevated platform in the space and is considered as the heavenly abode. There are other components such as the baptism font, bell tower, menorah or lamp, and also the cross-shaped pit, etc. The interiors of the Orthodox Church is much more utilized while in regular rituals and services. The outdoor are usually used in special occasions where we have to circumambulate around the church edifice. Rituals that mostly happen within the church in most occasionally are the Holy Kurbana, Holy Matrimony, Baptism, and Funeral. In Holy Kurbana, mostly the space is utilized in the Madbaha, Questroma, and Haikala. In Holy Matrimony, Questroma and Haikala are the places that has been used. Whereas in Baptism, the baptismal font and the Madbaha are used. And in funeral, the rites happen in the Haikala and later the body is moved to the cemetery to be cremated. During specific occasions like Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, Christmas, etc., there will be processions circumambulating around the edifice of the church. Few elements in the build were later added to ease the ritual procedures in the church. Few among are a freestanding central altar or the thronos, which allows circumambulating around it to perform the rituals. Then comes the baptismal font. It is placed near the questroma or haikala, wherein to give a provision to drain off the baptismal water directly into the basement without exposing it to desanctify. Then comes the central path for the departed souls. The path is demarcated and is being believed that the departed soul attends the services. Then the niche within the thronos. The niche is used for the embodiment rituals on Good Friday. Then the cross-shaped pit. These pits are either dug or pre-existing or permanent, wherein it is dug in the shape of cross and then it is used to burn dried palm leaves and incense as a part of Christmas rituals.